Are we addicted to technology? The average internet user spends 6 hours and 53 minutes in front of a screen every day. 6 hours and 53 minutes. That is literally 40% of the hours that we spend awake. 40% of the time that we are awake, the average person spends on the internet. 40% of our waking hours is spent online. And we have the audacity to wonder why we aren't happy with our lives. The average person experiences high degrees of loneliness, much higher than we did 30 years ago. And the average person is overweight. The average person is not in love with their life. The average person does not have deep connections in their life. And we have the audacity to ask why it's that way, but we spend 40% of our waking hours on technology. Why are we surprised by the fact that we are fat and lonely and unfulfilled in life if we are spending 40% of our days on a screen? Why are we surprised? That's not what we are made for. It's not. I read a book about 2 years ago. I forget the name of it, but it was a really good book, and it talked about a lot of different things. But one of the things that it highlighted the most was that it said 40% of people in this country had not had a deep conversation in the last 6 months. 40% of the people in this country had not experienced a deep, meaningful conversation in the last 6 months. And that was up drastically compared to 2 decades ago, compared to 3 decades ago. We are living in a society where we're becoming more and more disconnected. And it's by our own doing. We are choosing to be on these devices. We are choosing to be on social media. We are choosing to lose the personal connection and choosing to stop talking to each other in person. And we're choosing to stare at our phone screens and to watch movies online and to just isolate ourselves through technology. We are absolutely addicted to technology. We are. It is flooding our brains and flooding our lives, and it's not a good thing. It has the potential to be good. Technology itself is not bad. It's not. It's about how we use it. But most of us are not using it in a good way. We are using it to build barriers between connection. We are social animals as human beings. We are meant to have genuine connections, but we are losing that. We're throwing it away. We're killing our own happiness. People who have these deep, genuine connections, they report having happier lives. People who have deep conversations, they report having higher rates of life satisfaction. The people who have close friends around them, they report having higher rates of life satisfaction. So when you delude yourself by constantly staying on the phone and thinking that that's making you be more connected, you're destroying your own happiness. It's not just about technology addiction. It goes beyond that. It's about what that causes in the rest of your life, because the technology is just a small crack, but that crack begins to spread to the rest of your life. You become less focused, you become less motivated, and you become less connected to the people around you. You become a fragmented human being who is not truly connected to anyone around you. And again, it's not the technology's fault. I love you. I truly do. I don't know you, but I love you. But it's your fault. Nobody else's. But you have the power to do better, and it is completely in your hands. You have the power in your hands to change your life and to live a more full life. A life where you can still use technology, but you can use it in such a way that it actually improves your social life. And it doesn't just detract away from your mental health and from your social connection. You can do that. So what's the solution there? Well, first of all, stop texting, and instead of texting, schedule an in-person meeting through that text message. Stop just having these long, drawn-out conversations over text. Meet them in person. Have a face-to-face conversation. We are missing that in this day and age, and that will make you feel more connected, and that will allow you to build a deeper friendship and a deeper relationship with whoever that person is. Try to move away from the cell phones and away from be away from the screens and meet in person. And the same thing applies to social media. We all have this strange mindset, because Social media is meant to make us be more connected, but we go on social media and we just scroll, and we don't actually connect with people. It's so fun, it's so crazy because people are posting all of these events and we just scroll through and completely just we look at it and just keep on scrolling. And if that person was to talk to you in real life, you would talk back to them. If they were to tell you about what they are showing you through their social media profile, you would talk to them and you would connect with them and you would comment about that thing that they're going through. But since it's on a phone and it's distant from your own life, you just look at it and keep on going and you never make that connection. So when you go on social media, instead of just mindlessly scrolling for hours and hours and just being a passive observer, reach out to those people and meet up with them in person. Set up an in-person meeting through social media. Don't just use social media as a passive opportunity to see what everyone else is doing. Become active. Build real in-person connections through that. That is how you become more connected with the people around you. You feel lonely because you have no one around you, and that is oftentimes because of technology. But you can use that same technology to remove that loneliness and to actually reach out to people and build connections. You can do that. And it's sad because this technology addiction is starting to go to the younger generation as well. It's not just us, it's spreading. There was a survey and it interviewed a bunch of younger kids in their teenage years. And 50% of those kids reported being addicted to their cell phones. Self-reported this. This wasn't diagnosed by the study panel. This was the teenagers self-reporting. And 50% of them said that they were addicted to the technology, that they were addicted to their cell phones. And you know that everyone who is addicted does not think they're addicted. So the fact that 50% of these teenagers admit to being addicted to technology, to being addicted to their cell phones, that is such a scary sign of the times that we are living in. These kids, they spend 7 hours a day on their phones on average. When I was a kid, we used to, just 15 years ago, I would go outside and me and my friends, we would go from door to door, knocking on all the young kids' houses around the neighborhood. And they would just come outside and we'd ride our bikes and play for hours and hours and hours. And we would have these face-to-face interactions and these face-to-face connections. And in this same neighborhood today, you never see kids going around outside. You never see kids in groups outside. But you constantly see kids driving by with their parents driving by and their face just glued to a cell phone screen. You constantly see kids on the buses glued to a cell phone screen. You constantly see kids in parks with their parents sitting down glued to a cell phone screen. It makes me worry for where this society is going. And it's not just America. It's not. Many other societies aren't quite as deeply pulled into the gravity of technology, but it's a worldwide thing. It truly is. And I want to encourage you to be the change that you want to see in this world. If you think that we should be less invested in technology and that we should build these deep, genuine connections, then make that first step. Put your plane on airplane mode. Put it away. Don't take it with you when you're going out. Go talk to people. Build these genuine connections. Talk to people in person. When you're out and about, talk to the strangers around you. Don't be so closed in. Get off of the technology and escape into real life. Oftentimes we escape real life and go into technology, but it should be the reverse. Escape technology and go into real life. Embrace this beautiful life around us. Embrace the people around you and build those connections. That's what we are made for. That is what we are here for as human beings, for connection, not for devices. You have the power to be the change you want to be in this world. You have that power. You do. We all do. And if we all commit to being more social and to being more open and to connecting with the people around us deeply, this world is going to become a better place. Are you going to answer that call? Are you?